I'd like to invite to the stage to join me one of our Hall of Fame members who will speak on behalf of one of his teammates here at College of San Mateo and then at BYU. This is Bill Ring, who will be talking about our first inductee, Al Gaspard, and we're asking Al's sister, Dana, to join us also.
I'm honored to be here this evening to induct my good friend and fellow teammate, both at College of San Mateo and at BYU, Al Gaspard. He was also my roommate my junior year at BYU. A wonderful, wonderful person. And happy to be here and induct him to the CSM Sports Hall of Fame for the class of 2018. So there's really three things that I want to talk about tonight, and that is, number one, show our gratitude to CSM for the coaches and everything that they've done on our behalf. I also want to honor our teammates that when we played with Al that are here tonight. And then I want to honor Al Gaspard and his sister Dana, who is with us tonight. First, now CSM, how many lives have you launched here at CSM? All the careers from all the different people. I want to thank you so much. The answer is really countless people have benefited from being here at College of San Mateo. The coaches here, your tireless work, everyone that's sitting in this room this evening is really benefited from all your hard work. Bill Dickey, who coached both Al and I, and actually Bill went to bat and got us both scholarships at BYU when he was head coach. And rumor has it that the coach at that time at BYU, the offensive coordinator, was a guy named Doug Scoville. Doug Scoville was a coach here at CSM. So he had a tie to CSM. But he actually, I guess Bill Dickey, to get him to give me a scholarship, he had to pour a lot of red wine into him. Not so with Al Gaspard. He was a shoo-in. But for Bill Ring, definitely. I just want to thank all the coaches that were during those days. Larry Owens, also I have a debt of gratitude because my son Billy played here at CSM as well, then went on to San Jose State and was a teammate of Jules at the time. And actually, speaking of great coaches, not necessarily at CSM, but Frank Edelman was a coach in Pop Warner and took Julian and Billy and the team all the way and won the national championship in Pop Warner. He's one hell of a coach. Congratulations. I owe a debt of gratitude also to College of San Mateo because I don't think I would have ever met my wife if it were not for College of San Mateo. Because going to BYU, my best friend at BYU wife was my wife's best friend. So. I also want to honor our teammates here tonight when we played together here. And that would be, I think, Hugh Lovelace is here, Ed Mixco, and Doug Ryan. I think I got everyone that's here tonight. Is there anyone else here? Dave and Kevin. Yeah, why don't you guys all stand up, the guys that played. Then also Jack Burgett, who is the head coach at Jefferson, is also in the audience, I understand. Jack Burgett, Coach Al. Also, I want to honor Al Gaspard and his sister Dana, who is with us tonight. At BYU, Al was all-conference, honorable mention, All-American, and we were the conference champs our senior year, and he was my roommate my junior year. And he was a pleasure to be around. He was just a very affable guy, very friendly, and he was a big man on campus. I mean, he was a big man. And, but his personality, everyone loved Al. As he walked around campus, they wanted to get to know Al. A lot of people called him Albert. So he was just a wonderful guy on campus. He was a great roommate. And I think the reason that he really was brought to BYU is because he was such a talented pass blocker. And at BYU at that time, we had quite a passing game. We were known at that time to have some pretty good offense, and our quarterbacks at the time were Gifford Nielsen, Mark Wilson, and Jim McMahon. And all three of those guys played in the pros for quite some time. All three of them were All-Americans, and I would say that a lot of the reason that they were All-Americans is because Albert, not once can I ever remember, did Albert ever let anyone go in and sack any one of our quarterbacks, and I think that's because he was a heck of an athlete. He was a wrestler, and obviously a football player, and quite an athlete. Also, he was the third African American at BYU, and you have no idea what a challenge that might have been like. With 1976, right? Thanks, dear. Thanks for that. See, I always love your spouse. You're right behind you. I had that in my notes, 1976. But you can imagine what that's like with 27,000 people and being only 3 African Americans there. And I say, as a roommate, he handled it very well, and was just a pleasure to be around. We had our fun every once in a while. You know, our fun was maybe to have a couple beers, not to get too crazy, and then we would go to the Star Palace. And the Star Palace was this place off of campus. It was a dance studio, and that was about the most fun that we could have at BYU. We got a little bit crazy, so that was about it, though. And then lastly, I just want to say Dana, sister, told me that still to this day, in all her life, the best day of her life is when she was 10, and Albert invited her to come up to go to Provo, and they spent time together with one another. And he flew her up with his own money, flew her up to Provo, and got to take her around, spend time together. And she said that was one of the most amazing times. And she also said that he was the one who showed her that anything was possible. And I can say that if you can handle yourself like he did at BYU, anything really is possible. And I know, as a former roommate of his, he was patient, compassionate, and fun-loving, and I can testify to that. I can only say it's a shame that he's no longer with us and passed at such a young age, but I'm sure he is with us in spirit. And God bless him. God bless your family. Thank you so much.
Well, I'm must say I'm glad I went to UCSB. Some of us get it.